Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. My name is Sbonny M, and today we'll be talking about property, of which is a continuation video from the video that I've uploaded before. If you haven't watched that, please go back and watch that video so that we'll be on the same page. And today we are talking about things that you need to know before renting a property. What is it that you need to consider before you sign a lease? Before you even move into the property, what are the things that you need to look at? So guys, to start this video, I have made 5 points for you of the things that you will need to consider if you want to rent a property, or even if you want to let your property for rental. So these are the things that both sides you need to consider. Please don't mind me if I'm looking down. I have made notes for you guys so that I don't leave out anything, and I keep you all guys plugged because I've been in both sides. I've rented a place and I've let people rent my property. So these things, they will help both people. So number one, we have deposits and upfront cost. What do I mean about deposits and upfront cost? Every time you're looking for a property to rent, you should consider that you will have a deposit and rent amount. So let me make a practical example. Let's say the property that you are looking for cost 2.5 per month. You need to have 2.5 for that month that you are looking for a property for, and you also need to have a 2.5 as a deposit. A deposit is usually exactly the same amount as a rental amount, of which it varies with people, but in most cases and most property agencies, it's exactly the same as the rental amount. So you need to consider that. And deposit is the money that you get back when you're moving out, only and only if there's no damages in the flat. So that's what you need to know. The money that you give them as deposit, you are supposed to get it back when you're moving out if there's no damages in the flat. In 2014, we were renting. We were paying our rental amount, and then we needed to pay for parking alone. So that's just costs that were not included when the property was advertised. So you need to consider this and ask, are there anything that I'll need to pay for, and so forth. Then we have number two. My number two is property structure. By property structure, I mean that you need to look at everything in the property that you'll be occupying, meaning you need to test the door handles. The doors are intact, the handles are working perfectly, you can open and close. Check the windows if you can open and close them, no glass are falling over, the handles of the windows are working. Check the walls if there are no cracks. Check if the paint is not coming off or it's not falling. Check if the floors, there is no tile that is coming or that is cracked. Check if the cupboards are working perfectly. The drawers, you can open the drawers, flush the toilets, open the tap, like see everything, like check everything if it's working perfectly. You should even bring your adapter for the charger to check if you can plug your charger and it's working. That you need to consider, because after you have moved in, as soon as you have signed a lease and you have moved in, you have paid your deposit, you have paid your rent for that money, now it's all on you. It's all your responsibility. And if you didn't check all of the things that I'm saying, that I'm talking about now, that I'm mentioning, and only to find that some of these things are not working, you call an owner or a property agent, my toilet is not working. They'll say, what? Like the toilet was working now when we left, simply because you didn't check, and you'll be charged for nothing. Let's say you are now moving and you did not tick at the doors, as like the bedroom doors are not closing or they're not working. When you're about to leave the place or you find a place somewhere else, now you will need your deposit back. they'll tell you about the doors simply because you didn't check if they are not working. So every time you are looking for a property, before you occupy the space, before you sign a lease, check all of these things if they are working. Ne? And while in the property structure, you also need to consider things like signal, cell phone signal. Check your signal. See if your signal is working perfectly, like we can get hold of you 24/7. There will be no time where we say, we can get hold of who because the network is what? Mang does not, the signal is bad. You know, we don't need that. You need to be available at all times. So consider that as well. And then point number three is that you need to view the place before you move in. Don't be excited about the zone or the location of the place. Look at the place. If they say the flat is in Sunnyside, don't just be excited because the flat is in Sunnyside. Go view that place, right? And be sure, where is the flat located? Where is the apartment located? Or where is the house located exactly? Am I able to mobilize around where the place is located? Am I able to leave? Is it a conducive environment for me? Because you might find that, let's say it's an entire flat and you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel safe in that apartment. So you need to view the place before you even occupy it, before you even sign. View the place and ensure that you are happy with the place, right? Number 4, you need to know who you are directing your inquiries to, of which you need to know, like the agency that you'll be dealing with. You need to know your landlord, the one who's renting out the house for you, so that you know who's responsible for what. What I'm saying is, in this thing we call renting out a property, it's 2 people working together. This is business, guys. So you have a person renting out a property, you have an owner of that property. So a tenant need to know who is the owner of this property and who can I tell when I have a problem in the property, who is responsible for fixing my problems. Because while you are staying in the property, you might have things breaking and you need to know who's responsible of fixing what. Because some of the things they'll say no, due to the agreement that you have, you fix whatever that is broken and send me an invoice and then we refund you, for instance. Or else they'll say whatever that is broken, contact me immediately and I'll bring my people to fix those things. So you need to know who's doing what. Are you able to fix what? Or you just direct all inquiries and problems to that person, right? So avoid landlords and agencies that don't want to meet in person, that don't want to be known, because they are running away from responsibility, of which maybe they know that the property is not worth what they've given you. Number 1. Number 2, they know that they have so much problem in that property in a way that they don't want to be seen in front of you and they don't want to be known, so that you don't give them problems. So if you are in that situation where you've got a place and the person who's giving you that place doesn't want to meet up with you in person, then it's a no-go for me. Like, don't. So for me, it's like, if you're not able to get hold of the person while you are looking for a place, how are you going to get hold of the person when you have problem in the place, in that apartment? How are you going to get hold of that person? Will that person even show up? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Okay? And then we are on number 5. Get everything in writing. Everything in writing. What I mean when I said everything in writing, you need to have a contract. In that contract, it should have everything that you're supposed to do, everything that the landlord or whoever that is responsible for that property needs to do. You need to have a checklist of the things that you've seen and you have tested and you've seen that they're working, and also that list needs to be attached with the contract. The contract, you need to have a copy. Also, the owner of the place or the agent or whatsoever need to have the copy of the contract. Everyone needs to know, what am I doing, who's responsible for what, and what did we agree on. That will save you, because you don't want to find yourself being told that you agreed to do what by mouth and you don't even remember that, right? And you need to make sure that whatever that you have signed for, you honor that agreement. Like, don't wake up and say, like, right now I don't feel like doing 1, 2, 3. If you are agreeing to these terms and conditions that I've given you over the contract, you need to honor them, because it's like keeping a promise, né? As well as the rental owner, or as well as the landlord of the property, you need to take responsibility for your apartment, for your flat, for your property. You need to make sure that the person who's living there feels at home, that you're doing it for yourself, for your property, that you're doing it for the person who's renting your property. Number 2, create a relationship with the person who's renting out your property. You don't want to find yourself not being able to communicate with the person who's staying in your property. Like, create a relationship. Obviously, there should be boundaries. There are things that you can't talk about. There are things that you should talk about. But you need to have that relationship in a way that you are able to say something about the property. Is what still okay? Is what still okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is that draw some lines. Mistakes that I've done while I was renting out my property was that I couldn't treat my things, I couldn't treat my property as a business. It was like a favor or something that I've let someone stay there, because number one, that person did not have a deposit, and I let that person stay hoping that, not even hoping, because she said she'll give me my money month end. Currently she doesn't have money, blah blah blah, and me being me, I said, no, it's fine, you can give me your rental amount for this money for this month, then when you get paid you can give me my deposit, including the money for the next month. Cool. The lady stayed there with her family, and on a day I was at work, right, I get a call from my neighbors saying, Maki, what is happening? We see people moving out. What is happening? I don't even know. The person is moving out, guys. Like, when I go to my property, the wardrobes are down, the cupboards are not working. I'm like, what? And that was the lesson I've learned. As much as I have a good heart and I have, but like, business should be business. Treat your property as business, more especially if you're letting it out for rental. Treat it as business. Don't be too friendly. Don't be too hard. You don't want people to do things intentionally just because they want you to fix those things, because you're being mean to them. So be kind to people. Live your life so that they can be able to be kind to you and live their lives, right? So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe and join the family. And please don't forget to click that notification bell. So thank you. Bye.